Coming up, a Sad Styles production. Get into it.
Hey, it's Andrew.
Hey, it's Mikey.
From the Retrograde podcast.
Come here, mate.
Yeah, nailed it. Okay, so you're hearing us right now before the episode. What's wrong?
Huh?
Nothing good?
It's the filth. The filth
Oh,
from
for
the...
God's sakes. Okay, you're hearing us right now because we want to explain to you that the episode you're about to hear started originally at patreon.com/retrograde podcast, our Mushroom Club.
The Mushroom Club. And basically what we wanted to do was fit this episode in before the month of September because we have an announcement, and that is that the month of September is going to consist solely of Simpsons-based games and bonus episodes. The bonus episodes obviously are going to be posted. This is going to be the only sneak peek you get.
Only one.
This one's a bonus episode that we usually reserve specifically for our patrons over at patreon.com/retrograde podcast. It's going to be a watch along of a Simpsons episode, one of our favorites. So you get to enjoy that now. But if you want more of it, more than just the games each week, you got to go join us there. It's about $5 a month US. You get tons of free content.
Because you get this one episode, then you're cut off.
Yeah.
That's it.
Andrew, chill the fuck out.
They know who they are.
They do.
Yeah.
But do you? I think this is
every day, a little bit closer. So enjoy this episode, the kickoff, the official kickoff to Simptember, a retrograde month devoted to The Simpsons.
We will see you guys after the break.
And welcome to the Mushroom Club, the Patreon arm of the Retrograde podcast, a subsidiary of Sad Styles Productions. With me as always is shut the fuck up. Stop doing that. With me as always is the bad boy of Patreon.
You didn't say your name.
I don't care. I'm Andrew Bascom, with me as always is the bad boy of Patreon and a disgusting human being,
Mr. Bebop himself.
Well, I don't have to do all of them now. You don't deserve it. That's Mikey. Welcome. Welcome to the Mushroom Club. This is the warm bath that I always fall into face first because I'm so comfortable to be around you people. I love you people. And we have, what an episode do we have for you today?
I'm excited for this episode because we had the idea of just doing a watch along.
Yes.
We want to interact with you, the fans.
Well, you know, at the end,
you.
with me as always is Mikey Aaronworth. I just want to say that part. You know, a huge part of this podcast in general and the Retrograde and doing the Mushroom Club even more especially is the fact that we want to share our favorite things with you.
Yes.
Because in a lot of ways we align on certain interests, and yeah, you might not see eye to eye with us on every opinion we give, considering the whole podcast is based on opinions.
Which sounds like a you problem, not a me problem.
Yeah, like watch me care about that. But we thought, let's find ways to share more of the stuff that we deeply love through this podcast.
Yeah, I love the idea of a watch along. Unfortunately, we can't do it where we show the video of the Simpsons episode that we're going to be watching.
And why is that?
Well, it's because of copyright issues, and we don't want to get deplatformed before we have a platform.
Yeah, that's fair.
So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to do a sound cue. We're going to cue it up so you guys can watch along with us. There's going to be the video version on our Patreon and a audio version as well, depending on which one you want to do. But if you do the video, it's like you're here with us.
Oh.
Which may have been a turnoff, I think, to some. Maybe that's the reason why they don't want
too
to do
intimate.
That. Yeah, too intimate.
Please don't look me in the eye.
We can see you though.
Yeah, we can always see you. Unrelated to this.
Yeah, that's you shouldn't have told them that. But,
so the reason we are doing a watch along, and especially for The Simpsons more than anything, is we have a Patreon exclusive.
Exclusive babies.
For Patreon only, we are telling you guys that we are making September an all Simpsons month. Every game that we're going to do in the month of September for the Retrograde is going to be Simpsons. Everything on Patreon going to be Simpsons, and we are so excited to be doing this.
And we're going to be calling it Simptember.
We're going to be calling it what?
We're going to be calling it Simptember because I can't Simptember. What else are we going to call it? Simptember.
Oh, crap.
Because we're simping on September on Simpsons.
We're simping on Timber.
We're simping on Simpsons.
Okay.
We're simping on gin and juice. Is that a thing?
It should be.
It should be a thing.
It should be. We are such Simpsons fans. We are Simps.
Yes. Yeah,
Wow.
we're or stands.
I don't understand what a simp is. Okay,
don't ask
doesn't
me
matter.
what the difference is.
Welcome to Simptember. You're finding this out before anybody else is, and so much so that we want to talk to you, our mushroom heads, our beautiful idiots that we love so much. What is your favorite Simpsons game of all time? You tell us. We have not created the full schedule yet. We've held some places just for you guys to be suggesting names.
Yeah.
So that we can be playing the games that you want to be hearing us.
Yeah, we're going to be putting the poll out to all of our listeners at a certain point.
Yep.
But we want to give you guys the first shot, and we're going to weight your votes more because you give us money. And that means a lot to us.
This is Mikey's transactional relationships are bleeding through into the sweet idiots, as you call them.
Right.
So
Daddy's got to keep the lights on, though.
Well, that's true. Lights being off would be bad for podcasting. Okay, I can't. I'm so excited. So why don't we get into the episode we're doing today?
Yes.
And why we're doing it.
That's a good lead in, Andrew, but I'm going to let you do it because this is your favorite episode of The Simpsons.
Back to Andrew. Okay, so a little while back, an Instagram account I really like. I follow 5 separate Simpsons Instagram accounts, which is...
So you are absolutely a Simpsons simp.
100%.
Yeah.
One of the things I really love on social media is the when they break down memes for The Simpsons and combining like 3 episodes into one meme. It is that endless, like the creativeness that has been put into the show. It's just endlessly fascinating to me. Especially, it started really with the steamed hams thing,
right?
And the 17 different versions of steamed hams, and then it's into like many different things. Like the one they did yesterday was the Seymour Skinner going like, "I am a fraud. I'm not a toasty cinnamon roll," and he points at Homer in bed. He goes, "That's a toasty cinnamon roll," and it's like the lines that are
amazing.
like not even the obvious stuff. It's like deep references, and you're like, but when you scroll through, you're like, oh my god, that's so good. So one of my favorite accounts on there is Criminal Simpsons, an account that usually just features all the criminal activity in The Simpsons, which is rich and plentiful. And they did a huge bracket of every episode to find out what the 152,000 followers' favorite episode was, and it's my favorite episode too.
Yeah.
It's You Only Move Twice. Excuse me, I got right through the pun on that one.
Yeah.
Episode 2 of season 8. So that's important for you to scroll through here, and that's the one where the Simpsons move. Hank Scorpio is there. They work for
Played by Albert Brooks.
Played by Albert Brooks, the best voice actor in Simpsons history.
Ooh.
He's in so many.
Throwing shade at Dan Castellaneta.
No, I mean for the guest stars.
Well, I don't know. It didn't sound like that to me.
Hank Azaria is going to be pissed. Julie Klausner. Oh my God. So it's just for a season 8, 1, 2, that's always like a refreshing one because people always talk about season 3, season 4. Those are the peak. I love You Only Move Twice. And there's so many lines about this that it's going to be tough doing a watch along where I'm not just going like, oh, wait, shut up. It's coming.
Yeah, you may need to turn us down a little bit.
Yeah.
Our
Just
whole
enjoy
thing
that.
is going to be talking through it. It's going to be a slightly more quiet episode from us, but we're still going to be talking over the episode. Now, maybe you can watch this or listen to this without watching the episode.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to work very well. We're watching it on Disney Plus, but if you can find an access to this episode anyway, open up your TV guide.
Okay.
If it's coming up, you just set an alarm.
Do they still make TV Guide?
I hope so. How am I supposed to find out what's playing on City TV later tonight?
Oh, local references get you local jobs.
Okay.
Yeah, that's so weird. TV Guide, the biggest thing in the world. Who is it covered on TV Guide?
Well, that in the phone book, baby.
Yeah. Oh my God, phone books.
Get out of here.
Oh my God.
The only thing those are good for is Michael Chiklis beating people up with them in The Shield.
The Shield coming up twice a couple times recently. That's great. We can't. Simpsons. This is so exciting.
Yes.
I can't wait. There are so many games that we could be doing this as a series, but we want to hear from you. And what a way to start.
Yep.
Simptember.
September,
crap.
baby.
Yikes.
Good name.
Is by doing a bonus extra week, a 5th week, if you will. And let's watch this episode together.
Let's do it. So cue up season 8, episode 2. You Only Move Twice.
Yeah.
We're going to do it. Take some time, pause this, make sure you have it. Come back. We're going to give you a little bit of a countdown, like 3, 2, 1, play. We're going to watch through the initial opening as well, because you can't get enough of that. You got to see what Bart's writing these days.
Oh my goodness.
And you got to see what that couch be up to.
Yeah, 100%. You got to see if people are shushing people at the end. You don't know. And your favorite thing of all time?
Shh. Up. From the Masons episode, which a listener turned us on
Yes,
to.
a listener
mystery
told us.
of my entire life. That's a deep cut in the Retrograde podcast.
Wow.
Okay. So
Okay.
here we go. We're going to be queuing this up now. We're starting at 0 minutes. It's queued up. If you don't have it yet, pause this now, and then we're going to count you down from 5. It's going to be 5.
And then
you want to do 10? Count them down from 10?
10 down?
10, 9. Like
Oh, okay, going
we're
down from
launching
10.
a rocket ship.
Oh, like a rocket ship. Okay, good.
We can do 15.
Is that good? Do you think that'll be enough time?
Let's do 15.
Okay.
And we're going to go on go.
So then 1 and then go.
Yes.
Okay.
15,
14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. This is great. I'm so excited.
Here we go, baby.
Okay.
Name a more iconic opening. Oh, here you go. I did not learn everything I need to know in kindergarten. I agree with you, Bart Simpson.
Yes, that was a very famous education book. Yeah,
I that book was up at my cottage.
Yeah,
and I insulted it, and my dad got emotional about it.
I think it was obviously like from like a Harvard professor or something insane where like, I have 6 PhDs, everything I learned from kindergarten. Hey man, that's not true.
That's not true. That's not everything you need to know though.
Good God.
I've always hated that.
Okay.
I love that they changed the damage on the car as well coming through at one point.
Yeah, I know that's the many different ways that the Simpsons house has been designed. Like there's a door in that garage. Where's that door go to in the house?
Exactly.
Like there's some parts of it where like, then they did start respecting it, and then they built that house out of like Henderson, Nevada.
Oh yeah, like the actual faithful replication of it. So Greg Daniels make an appearance.
So this is a part of Springfield we've never seen before.
Here's also one thing. You know how there's the episode of The Simpsons where they're looking back. Yeah, the show we're watching.
Thanks.
Where they're like, well, Mr. Burns is Smithers, or Smithers wants to be Mr. Burns' gay lover.
Yeah.
But is that ever actually a thing in the show?
No, there's the episode with the fake Barbies where they're like, Smithers, you're very good at turning me on. And so it's like, in Smithers' mind, he's like, there is some semi-attraction to this.
Right.
But is it, is that real? It's unrequited.
Yes, unrequited. I'm going to turn the subtitles on so we can talk and listen at the same time. How about that?
Well, I'm glad you told everyone.
I always love...
I love the life partner joke because that's clearly, like, was written for Smithers and they didn't change it.
Oh, yeah.
So you're already starting to see by season 8 the animation's changed and it's a little bit more modern. And to be honest, this is like SNL in my mind where a lot of people go like season 7, 8, 9, they're not very good. But I think in large part it's when you grew up with the show. Yes. That's your favorite part of the show. You're going to meet a lot of people that are like, I like season 18. You're like, fuck.
I bet. Those are the Zoomers.
Yes, they're Zoomers. They're the Gen Z. I have no idea what the generations are anymore.
Zoomers, isn't it?
I could believe
Gen
you.
Z, Zoomers.
Yep.
I've always wanted to join or own the
Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. I've never liked that head-on animation for the cartoons where you could see them straight on like that.
Oh,
I find it always
terrifying.
Very disturbing.
Yeah. I love how different the beginning of each episode of The Simpsons usually is. Those are the best episodes where, like, there was the episode, remember it was going viral when COVID first started. There was the episode about the sickness that came from overseas, whatever. And that's the first episode of a first 5 minutes of an episode that has nothing to do with the virus.
Right. So a nice little thing about gentrification happening in real time. Because everything's a coffee bar.
Yeah. U.S. the oldest person visits years.
Oh, God. So Albert Brooks also played the French bowling instructor in the beginning of the show. He was the villain, Hank Cargill, in the movie. Like every time that they have to lean on like a big character, like, well, Albert Brooks, get him out. Albert Brooks also a weirdly underrated just acting career in general.
100%.
So good.
Drive. It was great in Drive.
Drive, yeah.
And that's beginning and ending. Drive.
Mikey's favorite movie.
The
chimney just falls over.
Marge and Homer, there was an episode where they had sex.
Sure.
I think it was the Mr. Plow episode.
Well, there's that episode. There's also the episode where he has the tonic from. Is
that when they're like naked pushing together? Like you kind of see them naked?
Well, that is when they're naked running through that miniature golf course.
No, that was different. There's one where they're naked pushed up against each other, and that turned me on as a kid.
Wow, really?
It did.
Even Homer's supple body?
When you're watching, you have porn, Ron Jeremy exists there.
Yeah. Recently charged with 32 counts.
Really?
Yeah.
No comment.
Yeah, good call. I love that they both came up with the abandoned idea at the exact same time.
Yeah.
That's incredibly funny. Like, well, we always could. Oh, right.
Which season 8, what year would this have been?
That's a good question.
Because it's amazing that this is basically a commentary on what Google has become, the Globex Corporation.
Yes. Yeah. Like, well, it's the beginning of tech.
Yeah.
1996.
96. Okay.
That sounds right. And the reason why the coffee thing was Starbucks.
Yeah. But that's still very prescient because Google wouldn't have become like the city of Google
until
well after this.
Right. No, that's true. I just, Oh, this has always been something that I've really loved. Them like embracing the idea that there are so many characters in the show.
Yeah.
They do this again too when they moved physically the house down the road.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
You can tell they've gotten more ambitious with their animation style as well, like the panning.
Yeah. No, it hasn't, Dad. So we're leaving. Stink down. Oh, I love it. Also, I love like Little Lugger and stuff like that. That's like something you could feel like they took 3 hours trying to write something on the name of the thing.
Yeah. Or they're just all so smart that it came off the top of someone's dome and it was good enough.
Well, that's true. George Meyer is one of the producers and writers on the show, and like he wrote only a few episodes, but he was supposedly like the mind in the episode where he would just sit there and they'd be like, George, what should you do? And he's like, this. And they're like, well, that's great. Thanks, man.
That's awesome.
Running
Imagine
away
being
from
that guy. That'd be amazing. Cypress Creek. Would that be Colorado? Where is this? Denver?
Yeah, I would assume Denver.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Denver. Maybe it's Washington, though. Like, Washington State, where like, Nike campuses and things like that. Maple Systems. It is amazing when you watch it as a kid and then you watch it as an adult and you're like, jokes just hit in different places now. Maple Systems is very strange.
I needed the jokes to be just hitting me on the head as a kid.
Okay, so this is a huge debate constantly. Did you see a man throw shoes once and he laughs, right? Okay, so he's about to say it here. Just Albert Brooks coming in hot. So the big debate has always been, is he laughing because he threw the shoes just now, or was he thinking about a previous time where he saw someone throw shoes? Okay, so this is coming up right now. Here you go. Throws the shoes. Is he saying it because he just saw it?
Yes.
That's a big debate
That's
on
it. Of course it is.
Well, I don't know. I just want to hear.
Of course it is.
D-pads help us out. This like lampooning of like CEO, like fun guy tech, like is so perfect of going like, it's not work. But it is. But I'm not boss.
That's become such a tried character that is in everything. Just the detestable young startup boss is such a played out character now.
I agree, but you think it would stop them from doing that.
Yeah,
but, and yet,
it doesn't.
no.
It doesn't.
It
No.
doesn't.
Swing-majig.
Desperately trying to. Yeah, you're right. 1996, this is pretty prescient about almost everything.
Yeah,
like the fact that we have Roombas and they have a robot
Taking care of the kids for you.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. It is one of the things in The Simpsons where Marge's life is tremendously sad.
Yeah.
It really is heartbreaking in a certain way.
Well, she's married to Homer. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Look at that guy. He's a hunk.
Wearing the same clothes as he is at the nuclear plant.
I also think maybe it was progressive that he had a beard, like in the 90s.
I bet you it was.
Yeah, I bet you like it was. He's like, he's cool.
70s, they were a big thing.
Oh,
And then they went away for a while.
Yeah, they got clean cut again. And then they're like, oh, it's cool that he has a
Yeah.
beard.
He reminds me of Kevin Allison, the way he's drawn.
Oh, okay. Oh, God. This episode is full of so many small jokes that I repeat to myself all the time. The fact that Homer is disappointed by owning the Denver Broncos one day.
Yeah.
That is
Yes.
incredibly funny.
Yeah.
Considering they win the Super Bowl the next year after this episode comes out.
Do you think they did that because they had an extra pep in their step?
Yeah, probably because he was a good motivator.
Yeah.
Yeah. This has also haunted me forever about, I've managed teams in the past and stuff. And I think about Homer going like, hey, have you tried working harder? And I'm like, yeah, that's about my strategy too. I kind of run out quickly after that.
My strategy is, it's been similar, but it's like, if they say no, I'm going to work my fucking ass off until they follow suit. And then they don't have to work hard because I just did the thing they were doing.
Because you did it for them.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm not a good manager is what I'm trying to say.
No.
Is it ever clear what Globex even does?
Well, yes, at the end it does.
I don't remember.
Oh, you don't know? When's the last time you saw this episode?
Dude, like a couple months ago, you and I watched this one.
Oh.
Yeah.
You got it, boss. Yeah. He's already following that bullshit of we'll just
Don't call me
not
boss. Yeah.
A fact that a website was on there was
True.
a joke back then. That
Oh
was
my God.
oh my God, a website. Got a fresh sound, like he's a music producer.
Well,
like a progressive school. This is also a damaging episode for us Canadians. Because when Bart goes to the, class that needs a little bit more attention.
Right.
One of them is Canadian.
oh, yes.
Because he speaks slower.
Well, we
is
all
that
do.
a real thing? Do we speak slower?
Not for me.
Not for me at all.
Yeah, I don't think we do.
I think people get mad at me because I speak, maybe because
usually too fast.
fellow Canadians think I speak too fast.
Oh, maybe we speak slow compared to, maybe we speak just the regular pace of an American.
Maybe that's what it is.
I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world.
I don't blame you. We should be recluses. I know of them is such a good answer. Remedial. He says the word. He says it. Do him like trying to soften the blow, like that remedial.
The leg up program.
But Bart should be in that class.
100% he should be.
Yeah.
I'll be automated again.
It's funny though because we think about the world today and you're like, oh, she has nothing to do anymore, and you're like, and whereas we've tried to do that as an advantage, but now March feels without purpose anymore, and that's like.
But now she's drinking. Very, very prescient.
Okay, I'll just cut to the joke at the end because I'm assuming everyone's seen this episode. But the fact that she's like, I know the doctors say you're supposed to drink 2 glasses a day. I just can't drink that much. And even after, saying that she has a drinking problem, I find that incredibly relatable and hilarious. A circle of paper.
I hope we can finish work on the letter A.
Gordy is the Canadian. I'm sorry. This is like when we play a good game and then we're like, man, this is just, we stop talking because it's so good.
Well, sometimes you got to let the joke play out, right? Like that Warren just slowly patting him on the back and slapping him.
This really is just a long episode of The Twilight Zone. You think you want this.
If you want it, here's more.
You're going to get way too much of it.
But it is funny though that, I keep thinking about the Marge thing, and it's like they're playing this off as well. She has so much time.
Yeah.
Everything in our lives are automated as well.
Yes.
Except now we have phones, so we always have things to consume us because now work doesn't stop.
And a big thing that we've prioritized even over money, and especially over money because the way people are paid, is that time is the most valuable thing. Not money, not anything else.
Yeah.
You can't get more time, and so we try and buy ways back for time.
Right.
That's why you get groceries delivered. That's why you take Ubers. That's why you take, whatever. And this episode is showing you that's like, well, it's actually really damaging. And you're like, oh, okay, cool.
Exactly.
Thank you, 1996.
They knew this 1996, yeah. Also, I love that the sports place is called the Spend Zone. Just paying way too much money for things that, well, I shouldn't say that. It's the industry.
Co-host of the Sign Off, Mike Aaronworth. He's wearing a signed fedora.
Yes.
From Tom Landry. It's just incredible. So I will say, when I met my player one, this was a joke we talked about all the time. The hammock district. So to coming into thinking that there are 4 different hammock stores that you could be going to in this small town of Cypress Creek is never not made me laugh. Like, oh, the hammock district. Yeah, that's where you need to go.
Not only 4 stores, an entire district.
That's on there too, yeah. Put your butt there. Oh, the hammock district. Oh, God. This is also like right before Austin Powers. And so the idea that he's an evil leader, like there are so many references to James Bond, especially near the end, that we're ripe for.
Where now it's almost like commonplace.
Yeah, you're like, we get it. I know.
Oh, right. Yes. Maybe it's just... Yes. Marianne Sammix. That thing about CEOs just having so much gusto with their jokes that you don't know when they're joking or
Absolutely.
not.
Just he's got crazy energy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I slept 2.5 hours last night. I ran a marathon this morning. You're
and then you laugh sometimes. You're like, that's not a joke. Why are you laughing? You're like, I don't know how to read you.
I am terrified of every moment I have here. So this is possibly one of my favorite. This is something we could do on another Mushroom Club, but like our top 5 favorite jokes on The Simpsons. But this is one of them about the sugar, and he pulls it loose from his pocket.
You mentioned this a lot. You also often offer me sugar from your pocket.
Yes, and then you're like, no.
No one ever says Italy.
No one ever says. Big France bashing in the 90s, eh?
Yes.
Yeah. What's that all about? Change.
That's awesome.
Oh, it's
that
so
kitchen,
good.
I want that for myself, man. My kitchen.
A self-cleaning kitchen?
Yes.
That is so funny and over the top with the music.
I know. Ominous music playing.
More chairs than people. Is that teacher a babe?
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, she is a teacher.
Oh, all teachers are babes to you?
that puts them up in status for sure.
What are hot professions to you?
Oh, good question.
Nurses? Twitch streamers. Yeah, you know it's a profession. I think I've said this on the podcast, which is incredibly sad. But you know who are always hot? Dental hygienists.
That is very true. Why
it's always
is that?
Like, what is that all about?
That makes no sense.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Whatever. There you go.
Maybe you grow up as a young person, you see your dental hygienist, and you're like, I look like that person. That's what I want to do when I grow up.
Right.
Which that's what I did. I just wasn't hot enough.
There is a physical examination. So here you go. This is what we're talking about.
Mr.
Sean Connery.
Bond.
Homer, if you could kill a few people on the way out, that'd be great. I just... It's funny that we now, like, especially in the modern generation, watch...
He stops James Bond.
Watches Daniel Craig's versions, and it's hyper serious, and we're like, oh my God, James Bond, such reverence. And then you try and watch any old James Bond, you're like, what the fuck is this?
It's a comic book. It's a live action comic book. Like it's such a joke. But I actually go back and I love it because it feels like a whole different series.
Yes.
With the exception of Brosnan. Brosnan was kind of like in the middle of it. Yeah. It still had some
they're
camp
fine-tuning
to
it.
But yeah.
I know, and wow. I know that's what gives me hope about the Ghostbusters, by the way. But we'll talk about that later. Is that they're taking something that's very silly and then going like, it's very reverential. Like we got to like
worked for a lot of things.
It really has. Transformers.
Did your mom ever pin your mittens to your jacket?
I don't. They should have if they didn't.
She used to threaten me with doing that because my friends would make. She's like, if you keep losing it, I'm going to put a string through your jacket because that's what little kids get. And then she'd spank my little bottom.
Oh, and you like that part?
That part was fun.
You weirdo.
She'd do it with a mitten on too.
Oh, good. Yeah, that didn't deeply put something in your brain. So much happens in this short 22 minutes.
It is an action-packed episode.
It really is.
Scald.
Oh God, what a horrific.
Pretty violent. Oh, we're not noticing anything that's going on. We'll go bowling.
It is adorable him putting up with Homer in this moment.
It's that to me is like that's the CEO energy that never gets credit in these shows. When you're super busy and someone comes up to you and they're like, "Listen," and you're like, "Fucking hell, dude, speed it up." What are you, Canadian?
This is the frame I think I'd want to get in my house. That is
Just
so
maniacal
funny.
laughter.
The light onto him with the big white teeth. Oh, God.
Do you think you'll ever in your life get to fire a flamethrower?
Probably not. No, if I'm being realistic, probably not.
Be cool.
It would be cool. I think, didn't Tesla do a whole thing about that?
Not Tesla, the Boring Company.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes, the other company. Yeah, the Denver Broncos. It's a start. I love the generalization of their geography.
East Coast?
Yeah.
Just practicing outside his
He
house.
hits him in the head. He falls. Oh, it's so good. Oh, God.
Just a bunch of hats on helmets. Oh, what an
Oh,
episode.
God. What an episode. God, we cannot wait for Simptember. A month I can't believe that's what we're going with.
Listen, you signed off on it, which means it's as legitimate as anyone could ever ask for.
My vote of support does that?
Well, because it makes it a 100% vote on this podcast.
Oh, because we're both for it.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I'm for it. You know I'm for it. I was the one who recommended it.
So, Mikey, we just watched You Only Move Twice.
Yes.
What do you think?
You know what? I do really like the episode.
Oh, boy. You're about to say something negative.
I am about to say something negative. And I've always kind of thought this. I think it has a lot of really good jokes, but I feel like it's so much more action-packed
Yeah.
in a Simpsons episode than I'm used to, and not necessarily in a way that I love. I like the real... I don't know
the
if this would
emotional
count.
episodes?
Not emotional necessarily, but something that doesn't have as much... It's not as fast-paced. It's like
Right.
a little bit slower. I love in season, I think 3 or 4, building the baseball team.
Homer at bat.
Homer at bat was a fantastic one.
Yes.
That was the first episode, like, when I went back and rewatched from the beginning,
Yep.
that was the first episode that I was like, oh, I am dying laughing. Like, not just like, this is funny. I
Yeah.
enjoy this.
Yeah.
It was like legit laughter out loud.
You know, it's funny. That's an important episode, too, because that was the first episode of The Simpsons that was the #1 watched show on television.
Mm-hmm.
It beat The Cosby Show that week. And so, and they...
So you might say the Cosby Show is asleep at the wheel. I wonder where we put it there.
So...
I mean, can we just move past that one? Or
So they tried to make that episode the most
Yes.
important thing. That's why they got all those, like, you know, people signed up and all the baseball players, and they tried to, and they promoted the hell of it and go like, this is it. Look at,
Right,
oh my God.
right.
And it worked. And then literally it never looked back for the next couple of years. So
okay, so interesting though that this one comes in season 8. Mine was an earlier pick. This one does feel, when I go back and watch it, like a more modern episode of The Simpsons.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I actually really liked this era of The Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people, like you said, who grew up at our age did as well. It's like SNL. Like, what's
Yeah,
your favorite
favorite SNL,
cast?
yeah.
The one that you grew up with.
absolutely.
But I do have a bit of a reverence and more of a nostalgia for the episodes that I missed out on as a kid. Because for the first time consciously watching them, I'm an adult and I'm getting a whole different thing. We mentioned on this, 12501 Maple System Drive or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That's a joke that I never would have laughed at as a kid. I wouldn't even
Yeah.
recognize that as a joke. So watching those older episodes with that adult eye
Right.
is just, it makes The Simpsons a completely different show than what I'm used to.
Oh, no, I get that. I totally get that. And a lot of the shows that I like, you know, it's funny though, now I'm starting to think about, like, maybe some of them are more modern, but I can't wait. Okay, so here I'm going to start listing off the things I need from the D-pads, from our sweet idiots, the mushroom heads.
Sure.
Okay, I need you to let me know which Simpsons games are your favorite games ever.
Yes.
So that maybe we could be playing them in the month of
Keep in mind, we've done... When you say it like that, when you literally like close one eye when you say it, we've done the Simpsons Arcade.
We've done the Simpsons Arcade.
I don't think we've done another Simpsons game on this.
I don't believe so.
But there are a ton out there. There's Simpsons Hit and Run.
Yep.
There's the Virtual Springfield, which is a fantastic game.
Desperately want to do. Please tell us you want us to do that. I so badly want to do that.
Have you ever read the history of that game? Like there was a whole article written about it. It was fantastic. I'll try to look it up. I think I tweeted it like a year ago when it came out, but that was a great one as well.
Oh yeah. There are so many. There's so many games that came out with The Simpsons, and I can't wait to do a lot of them. And we're going to be doing Patreon all month for The Simpsons as well.
Definitely.
It carries right over to the Mushroom Club as well. So so I need those things. And then also on top of this, what are your favorite Simpsons episodes of all time? Right? So give me a top 3. You could name 10. You could name 20. Give me a top 3. How about that?
And the best ones for a watch along as well. So keep that in mind when you give your recommendations. If we start to have some overlap in recommendations, those are the ones that we're going to do for the next watch alongs.
Oh my goodness. We are so excited for Simptember. You're the first ones to know. And you absolutely should be the first ones to know because we love you.
Yeah. Listen, we love you because you're just a lovable idiot. I mean, it's easy to love something that needs your love so much because it can't function without it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you watch the Dog's Life episode of the podcast, you'd know that.
Or Marley and Me.
Or Marley and Me, the dog dies. Okay, The Simpsons, I'm honestly, I'm like staggered. I wore the shirt today just because of it.
That's a cool one. You have a Simpsons tattoo as well.
I do have a Simpsons tattoo. It's covered right now, but I'll show it. I'll show it for the next episode.
Hey, tune in to the next one and you'll get that.
Yeah, absolutely. For Simptember. A month of Simpsons, all about the Retrograde podcast. Thank you.
I don't think you need to expand upon. I think they understand when you say September.
Yeah, but they could mean that we're simping.
No. I think everyone knows.
You and I both don't understand.
We don't really fully understand it. We could have called it Stantember.
Yeah,
and we just review line by line Eminem's most famous song.
Is that Eminem's most favorite song?
It's his best one. I'm just kidding.
I don't know. Is it?
No. We will close off this episode in a second.
I can't believe you're like this stressed about this.
Because you recently said something to me that I have not been able to get out of my head, which is that you think you don't like Eminem.
I don't think Eminem is nearly as good as I thought he was.
Yeah, we need a whole month dedicated to that.
4 Patreon episodes in 1 month of you just breaking me down what's that movie called? My Dinner with Andre.
Oh, yeah.
Style, where it's just you and I sitting there.
I think, look, we'll use October for what we need it for, but then M in November. Eminem is yeah.
M in
November.
We're going to work on this.
We'll work on it. We'll punch that one up for you.
More Patreon episodes where we're just going to go, this is a brainstorming session where we sit there for an hour, try to come up with months. But September, easy one off the top of the dome, even though maybe the best name possible. So thank you so much for listening. We love every single one of you, and we can't wait to talk to you soon in the next week for Simptember. Ooh, all over at the Mushroom Club. My name's Andrew Bascom, and with me as always is the bad boy Patreon, Mr. Bebop himself.
Mikey Aaronworth.
Game over?
Game over.
This is the Mushroom Club.
Yeah, I got to throw back to you for that. Hey, listen, on our usual episodes, we're not so bad at this.
This is the Mushroom Club.
Game over.
Mushroom Club.
Shh.
Thank you so much for listening to the Retrograde podcast.
We look forward to recording this podcast all week long, and we hope you guys look forward to listening to it.
You know how we got into retro video game podcasting for the money and the babes? We're really in it for the ratings and reviews.
Money is ratings. Reviews are babes.
Please subscribe, rate, and review wherever you enjoy podcasts.
For any business inquiries, you can always email the retrogradepodcast@gmail.com.
You can find us on Twitter @RetrogradePod.
And you can find Andrew on Twitter @RetrogradeAndy.
And then Mikey @RetrogradeMikey.
Instagram @The Retrograde Podcast. And remember, find us on Patreon, patreon.com/The Retrograde Podcast for all of your non-essential but very much enjoyable content. We don't ask that you give us much, apart from joining our Patreon. But what we do ask is that you join this community that we've grown. Also, give us some of your blood.
Yeah. I want some of your hair in a bag. Thanks for listening from your 2 dads.
Furnished by Sad Styles Productions.